Guys, hey, what up, guys? This is gonna be my first YouTube video with my buddy here, Bobby.
What's up?
Well, he is on a cell phone currently, and we are called Crossfade Gamers, and we're gonna be doing a little bit of story time with you. Well, I'll be smoking on a little bit of, carts here.
Smoking on that gas. Fucking
Take one hit for the crowd real quick. And, I gotta take that sip of that vodka and that lemonade. And for you guys wondering, I do got a little hole in my mask. Clear that out. Okay, I am playing currently Rainbow Six Siege with him. Sorry guys, I gotta do this real quick. I'll get a little quick hiding spot because I am currently live playing a video game.
Go under the pool table.
I gotcha.
And look right into that room. Good shit.
Okay. Got a good spot now. I'm gonna kind of let Bobby handle the killing for now. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the story. We're gonna go off where Bobby has almost killed me. We're gonna go with the first story where he has caught me on fire. And it's gonna start off like this. One day
remind you, do not try this at home, and this was an accident.
He wishes it was an accident. He did it on purpose, I believe.
Fuck, I'm down. God damn it, he killed me.
And I do got a little slit in my mask right here so I could drink. And also hit my shit. But we're going to be going off with the first story where Randall almost killed me with fire. He almost killed me with fire because we got off of school one day. And I was smoking with him. And I think, what was it there, Bobby? Was it, it was
smoking that Gorilla Glue number 4.
I don't know, but how much did we get?
We had a zip, because you was supposed to sell some of it, and you was like, nah, fuck this, I'm gonna just smoke it.
True. Well, since I had that, and all of a sudden they were like, you know what, we haven't smoked in a while by ourselves. And it was just gonna be me and him. And I was sitting there telling him, I was like, okay, let's go down to the woods and go smoke. Let's go fishing, maybe, have a little fire. I was like, okay. Went down there to the creek. I think we were probably like 5 grams in. 4 or 5 grams in off of a homemade bowl that was made out of a, what was it, Gatorade bottle or was it a pop can?
It was a Gatorade bottle, my dude.
Was it
and
Gatorade?
That little metal piece, it was a bong, pretty much. It slapped open. It looked ghetto as fuck. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, back in those days, you can't afford that. But
nah, just nobody buy the shit for us.
Let's see. Where was I at? Yeah, we were smoking, and when we were smoking, and I was fishing and having a good time. And he's like, I want to start a fire. I'm like, go ahead, bro. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Bobby. If you want to, go ahead. I'm not gonna judge you. And I was like, you go ahead, start a fire. It's not that cold out, but it is what it is. So
it's just a hillbilly in me. I love starting fires for some reason. It's just fun.
And well, I already found the bomb.
Good shit. Good shit.
We're getting a good spot. Okay.
I'm gonna try to creep in behind everybody. Stay in the back. That way I can get a good picture of where they're at.
Well, he begins to start the fire going on. Sorry guys for that. Well, he begins to start the fire, and as soon as he starts the fire, I tell him, I was like, there's some gasoline over there. He goes to grab the gasoline, and as soon as he goes to grab the gasoline, I tell him, like, not even a couple seconds beforehand, I was sitting there like, do not just toss the gasoline like this, you know what I mean? It's gonna catch back up, like a normal person would think. And He was sitting there telling me that he had it, and right as I said that though, he goes like this, and straight into the fire, catches back up to his hand, catches his hand on fire, looks dead at me in the eyes, and is like, Mark. I'm like, what? He's like, catch. And throws it right at me. He's like, catch. And I'm like, what? I'm sitting down, remind you. And he throws it right in my lap. The thing's on fire. It's cocked back up to the bottle. I'm sitting there like, wow, okay, what am I supposed to do? My lap's on fire. I ended up stop, dropping, and rolling. Burnt all my leg hair off. Just to tell you guys, like, it burnt every last bit of leg hair off of my legs. But the ground ended up catching on fire, and he ended up kicking the bottle into the creek. Kicks it into the creek. Remind you, it is still on fire. He catches the whole creek on fire. The little piece that had the gasoline bottle, it was all on fire. And
so what happened was when I kicked it, it hit a tree and bounced off into the creek. So once the tree started to catch, the gas, I guess, floated out the bottle, and there was just like fire floating on top of the water. I ain't never seen that shit, so I didn't know what the fuck to do. I was just like, fuck it. The fire is in water. Water puts fire out. It's where it needs to be. So we just went on, about our business, got back to smoking. I started fishing because, you know, I'm a professional fisherman.
he thinks he is.
I'm actually pretty fucking good. You can't lie.
Yeah, the total amount of years that I've known Bobby here, I've only seen him pull in like 4 fish. But yeah.
Or big fish. We've caught a bunch of tiny ones.
I've seen you pull in 4 little fish, bro. Like,
No.
yes.
Do I gotta send you a picture of some of my bass I've been catching, boy?
I don't care about none of those bass you be catching, boy.
3 or 4 pounders. I mean, they ain't the biggest fish in the world, but they doing something.
Yeah, boys, these boys need to run. These computers. Fuck them up. Just kidding. But, what's the second, story we're gonna be telling here, Bobby?
Just talking about the time we got lost in fucking Newport coming back from the fireworks.
Man, we didn't get really necessarily lost. I lived
We
there.
skateboarded the whole way there and back. Fuck that, I'll never do it again.
I say, let me think, man. It is hard to think right now. Alright, just because of that, I'm gonna hit the pen another time.
Yeah, when you can't think, just get higher. That always fucking works.
Why doesn't it? Well,
fuck these dudes up, they ain't even gonna know.
man, I have a complete mind melt right now, but I can't think of a second story, even though that we have been through so much. How about because he's about killed me in total 3 times. You want to go to want to tell the second one? Go ahead, tell the second one. The one with the it tunnel.
Look, that was not my fault. We were walking through the woods because there's this big ass metal tunnel we used to
Hang
chill
on, you
at.
gotta explain, and why we were going to the woods. Calm down.
We just like
You
hiking,
skipping ahead.
You know, we had some BB guns, go hiking in the woods, go smoke, drink.
You missing
shoot
the
some
4
shit.
low. You gotta tell them what we were drinking. What we drinking.
4 Locos.
There we go.
God.
Oh
God
God,
forgive
no.
me for that. We was drinking 4 Locos though.
Please forgive me, Lord.
But we're walking to the woods, and Mark's like, "Hey, help me up," because we fell. Well, he grabs my hand and a tree branch, and he's halfway
hang
up.
on.
I figured he could get it.
You don't even deserve to do story time right now. You too fucked up, apparently. The reason
I am,
why,
bitch.
I have fallen is because I stepped on a tree. It was a big log that was dry rot. I stepped on it and it broke. Well, I asked Randall to helped me up, and then after that, I ended up telling him to give me a hand. He ends up giving me his hand. He only helps me halfway up, and then let's go. I fall and land into another tree. So I fall and land into another tree, and that tree breaks and lands right on my head. But it's not his fault. Just remind you, it's not his fault though.
It's not my fault the tree broke.
I know, right? Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I ended up having to pause on you guys for a minute because Sir Bobby here had a question for me, and it was like, yeah, I had to answer it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Shit happens. But we're going to go into this other story, which is going to be Bobby's birthday, and it's going to be his 15th or 16th birthday. I can't remember because that's how good the party was.
I just turned 16.
Why is it not letting me move my camera? This is weird. Okay, this is weird. Okay, I don't care as long as it lets me play. Random, okay. If not, this thing is just messing up. But we're gonna go with Bobby's here, his birthday. Sorry if you guys wonder I keep saying Randall, that's his gamer tag. But we're gonna go into here with Bobby's birthday party here, and it's gonna be starting off with me going to. Did I go to work that day?
Yeah, you just got off work.
I think I just got off of work, and then
I remember. Look, I'm going to spoil a little bit. I remember throwing up some Arby's.
Yeah, I did go to work. Like, I did go to work that day, but I didn't go to work until later that day. But I woke up early that day because it was supposed to be Bobby's birthday, and I was supposed to go and get him something for his birthday party, and I didn't know what to get because I couldn't smoke at the time. And I ended up telling him, I was like, I'm gonna go get some bottles. He was like, okay, good. Dang. But he was like, that's fine. I'm like, okay. Well, I went to go find somebody to buy them. You know, I'm not old enough, but it is what it is. Stuff happens. It's back in the day. Well, I ended up finding these two girls that I knew that were older, and I was like, yeah, can you go buy this for me? And then I was like, here's $70, I think. And I was like, go get me the biggest bottles you can get, and go get yourself a pack of cigarettes. I'm like, go get you something. And I ended up telling them that. They're like, okay, fine. They went in there. They got me a half-gallon of Sky Vodka and a half-gallon of Jim Beam. I was like, oh, I bet, man. I can't wait. And I was sitting there like, yeah, I smoked cigarettes at the time. I actually got a pack of cigarettes with them, but this is what it is. I ended up going back to my place, and I put the bag up. Waited until they got down there, and ended up giving them the bottles until after I got off of work. I was like, go ahead, take these, wait till I got off of work. I was like, I'll give you guys some food, and we can go back up there and have some fun for your birthday, bro. Well, ended up going with me and DJ after work, and also Bobby here. We ended up going and eating some chili cheeses. That was not chili cheese, sorry. It was the loaded cheese fry from Arby's when I worked there. And ended up telling them we were going to go back up there and hang out with these two girls. I was like, let's go hang out with them. We're going to your cousin's house anyway, Bobby. And I was like, we're going to go do this and get this done. I'm ready to have some fun. And we ended up walking all the way up there. And just remind you guys, to get up there, it's about, what, 30 to 40 minute walk?
30.
I say 30-minute walk too. 30-minute walk to get where we need to go.
20 if you're pissed off.
20 if you're pissed off, but yeah. But 30-minute walk just to get where you gotta go. I'm like, okay. When we got all the way out there, they got 2 bottles, remind you, on them. And I ended up getting lemonade and stuff like that while I'm drinking out lemonade vodka. But ended up getting a couple lemonades, but we drank them before we even mixed anything. Then ended up buying some cokes when we met up with the females and went to his cousin's house.
And let me remind you, we had 2.5 gallons of liquor here.
Exactly. We only had the 24-ounce bottles of coke. That was it. That was all we had to chase a gallon of liquor, basically.
Well, there was 2 gallons, a gallon of vodka and a gallon of the Jim Beam.
No, it was half gallons each. They were 1.75.
Somebody already killed me, motherfucker.
But, oh dang, I'm back in.
I guess I'm camera dude.
He ended up trying to get with a girl that night. It didn't work out well in his favor. She straight up rejected him, pretty much.
Hey man, when you're drunk, you got the balls to get a boy.
Hey, but then also on top of that, the other girl, she was my neighbor. And she ended up telling me to go back there when they're in a room by themselves. Just remind you, they're in a room by themselves. She was like, if you don't go back there, I'm gonna go back there. I'm like, oh man, I don't really want to go back there. I was like, I gotta go back there though. If not, it's not gonna be pretty when she walk back there because I'm a nice guy. I'm really nice compared to what most people would
Mark
think.
just popped in like, hey, Johnny, come back
Like,
out this way.
I knocked like 3 times and he walked up to the door, cracked it open. He was like, he gave me the worst look. Like, I'm telling you, like, dust there straight up out of hell. And just sitting there like, what do you want us? So they're like, bro, she's telling me that that she has to come back out here, bro. Like, I was like, yeah, you gotta come here. You gotta come here. I wasn't even talking to him because I knew how mad he was. Like, I just completely ignored him. I was just kept calling her name. I was like, yeah, come here. I was like, you can't be.
Honestly, I had a fucking chance too, man. I had a fucking chance.
Maybe. The world will never know.
Everybody was drinking, you know what I'm saying? Vibing. I had a chance. It might have been like a 40 or 50% chance, but I had a chance.
Dang, I got shot through the wall. But, she ended up coming out of the room. He pulls me in and was like, man, I'm so ticked. Well, we go back out there, start drinking a little bit more. And dang.
He's camping.
I have no clue, but somebody wanted a car, and I'm like, oh, that's tragic, but where was it even at? Oh yeah, we went back out there drinking, and then after we went back out there drinking, we drunk a little bit. They ended up leaving. Just remind you, this is only halfway through the story, guys. Like, not even halfway. But, after they ended up leaving, I ended up grabbing my Sky Vodka, the big half gallon, and I was sitting there basically cuddling with it. I was like, I'm a vodka man. I love my vodka. But they're sitting there swinging on the gym, like, Bobby and DJ. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, I don't really want to be mixing them, but fuck it, why not? Ended up drinking both of them. Well, after I ended up getting pretty good, just at that right amount, I ended up smoking a cigarette, and then some people ended up showing up. They ended up having some weed. I couldn't smoke at the time, man. Like, I'm smoking that cart right now, but I couldn't smoke at the time back then. Had some court issues. But going on, I ended up going outside because they ended up smoking. I ended up taking the whole bottle of Sky Vodka with me. I was like, fuck all you guys. I'm taking this with me. Like, this is mine.
Well, they brought their own bottle, too.
Yeah, they brought a bottle of Smirnoff Red, White, and Blue.
The other old girl's birthday.
And I ended up going outside with my pack of cigarettes at the time. And like I said, at that time. But, after I ended up going out there with my pack of cigarettes and smoked more, and then ended up drinking a lot more. Bobby Boucher here comes back out. I was like, hey, what you doing? I was like, nothing much. He's like, man, it's lit up in there. Also, they're like, I bet it is, bud. I gotta sit out here like a whole pansy. So I can't go in there and smoke. So they're like, I feel your pain, man. I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And
I was faded that night. Let me remind y'all.
well, I was like, you want to do some shots with me, bro? And he was sitting there like, I got you, bro. I got you. I was sitting there, and he's like, let me smoke a ciggy first. I let him smoke a cigarette. After I let him smoke a cigarette, ended up let him do a couple shots. You know what I mean? And after he did a couple of the shots, you know what I mean, he was sitting there like, I'm folded. It starts talking to me, and we start having a real good conversation. I'm drunk. Just remind you, I'm folded. Like, I'm like, you know how much a half gallon is. It's probably a little bit bigger than that, but
It's damn near a 2 liter.
like, it's pretty big, you know. I mean, I've already finished like a quarter of it by myself. That's not even considering all the gym I drank. I was sitting there like, oh man, I'm gone. And just remind you, I kick until like 8 o'clock in the morning. But I ended up talking to him, and he ends up starting talking randomly. And he's talking about fighting and stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? Then I start agreeing with him because he's getting me hyped up because he started sitting there yelling like, oh, you ain't gonna do nothing, you gotta meet me in class.
I was still mad about what happened way earlier with the whole situation with you blocking the motherfucker. I kind of wanted to slap you a little bit, for real.
Well, he starts talking randomly. I start.
TJ threw up on the porch, and I threw up over the rail. But when he threw up on the porch, I guess it like soaked through the porch or the cracks and just dripped all over the seats. And when I threw up over it, it just landed on the backs of them. They were unsavable. They were running. I wouldn't have put them in my car. So we just apologized and was like, look, man, I don't know what to do. I'm not paying for them. They shouldn't have been out there. But after that, we all got took back inside. I had the bag on. I was slumped. I was out.
Well, after everybody ended up leaving, I started looking around. Everybody's asleep. I'm the only person awake. I'm still drinking, just remind you. I'm sitting there, like, still killing this shit. And I ended up finding this bottle of Smirnoff Red, White, and Blue that homegirl brought, and it was, like, almost full. I started drinking on that. I'm like, bet. Why not? I was like, I couldn't smoke. I'm getting wasted. And I had work at 4 or 5 o'clock the next day, and I ended up going to bed at like 8. Ended up putting everything in my joggers just to remind you, because there's so many people. I actually stuffed it in my joggers because so many people were there, and I just couldn't trust nobody, man. I have trust issues. Only thing I couldn't get a hold of was Bobby's phone, and everybody was passing that around for some reason, using that as a tray to roll up on.
Well, no, it was mostly used for music, because I had my shit hooked up to the speaker.
But after that, I ended up plugging my phone up at like 8 o'clock in the morning because I had work. And I was like, I gotta go to bed. I gotta get some sleep. And I ended up going to bed for like an hour. And DJ woke me up about like 9 o'clock and was like, can I have my phone? I was like, yeah, here you go. And I was like, mine's on the charger. He was like, okay, I'm gonna put mine on the charger. I'm like, okay, bet. And he ended up putting it on top of mine. I'm on the floor sleeping next to him. Like, he's on the couch, I'm on the floor. And because he kept throwing up in his sleep, I'm like, dude, I don't really want you to be okay. He was the most person throwing up in his sleep. I was sitting there like, oh, okay, I'm gonna help you out. Hopefully you don't throw up on me, but it's okay. Otherwise, he ends up waking me up like 30 minutes later saying like, oh yeah, our cell phones are gone because one dude did stay there. And he was the only person in the house and he stole all 3 of our phones that night. I was like, oh, tough. Because as soon as we were sitting there looking around for it, we ended up asking him, I was like, hey, have you seen our phones? And he was like, nope. And walked right out the door. I was like, oh. Wow, okay, that's what happened. I think that's gonna be about it for our storytelling. What do you think about that, Bobby Boucher?
I'll tell them what happened the next day.
Oh, what happened to the next day? What do you mean? Like, you tell him.
Everybody, Mark, he limped into work. I got bitched at.